Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now welcome to a Challenger Spectate, or technically not a Challenger Spectate, but it's a high rating Spectate of a pick that I've been personally interested in for maybe about a week or so. So, you know, the early season is a bit of fiesta, we all know that. And what I like to sometimes pay attention to is interesting picks of like, it belongs in the lane, like Olaf belongs in top lane, but it's pretty rare. And like underrated. I think those are the really good picks that are worth trying to find, because one, it's underrated, so people don't understand the strength of it, and secondly, you're never going to get banned out, or someone's probably not going to pick it from you. And let's be honest, Olaf right now, not many people play Olaf, but weirdly over the past week or so I've been starting to see a lot of Olaf tops. And by the way, specifically Olaf top, not Olaf jungle, Olaf top. So I thought what we do is give a little gander to one of the best Olaf top players on EU right now, and just have a look. What do they do? How do they do it? And, you know, we're against, or he's against, a Jax. And, you know, Jax is still known as a pretty strong top laner. Maybe not as strong as he was, obviously, because Spira Shojin and stuff has gone away. But still pretty decent. And I know a lot of people struggle to lane, even against the champion, you know. So let's just see what happens. So Olaf late to lane, which is going to hurt him a bit. You can see the Jax hyper pushing. Now, why is the Jax hyper pushing? Avoiding the level 1 fight with a Olaf is always a good idea. Olaf wins most 1v1 fights at level 1 in the game because, one, he gets a reset when he picks up his axe. So you throw it on top of the person, you pick it up, you slow them, they can't get away, or they have to flash. Secondly, the lower health Olaf gets, the more benefit he gets from fighting. His attack speed goes up and all that. So you don't generally want to fight an Olaf at level 1. So with Olaf being late to lane, the Jax took that as an opportunity. Ooh, I can just hard push it, so I avoid the level 1 fight with Olaf. Because trust me, Olaf wants to try and take it. If you watched the Kayle game earlier today, it was a great example that the Olaf was constantly looking for that aggression. Meanwhile, the trade in bot lane happened. Angry Senna is angry, apparently, spam pings in the bot lane. Again, I still, by the way, I know people like the pick, and that's awesome, but I still haven't found that good Senna. You can see massive positive trade by Jax, and look, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't watched this replay. I'm watching it with you for the first time ever. There's Olaf. He got completely out-traded and was like, okay, it's my time now. I'm going to just batter you to death. Jax teleport, weirdly, there's a bug, apparently. So that looked a bit weird. Olaf level 4 advantage. Now looking to fight continuously. And yeah, look how aggressive this Olaf's playing. Hits the axe. Jax is in trouble. Jax. Now that was weird. Now Set's in top lane. Will Olaf die? He avoids some of the damage. Oh, he does go down. So Jax dies 2 times in a row with Olaf outgoing back. That just shows how much early strength Olaf has in lane phase. It's insane. Weirdly though, I get what the Jax was doing, by the way. I'm going to get to my set. But Jax did have flash up. He could have just flashed like to try and escape, but he didn't. Senna's dead again. But I think I was saying before all that happened, I know Senna's technically good. I just personally just don't see them. They just die all the time. And it's like, huh? But anyway, now continuing in lane phase. Item build wise, 2 ruby crystals picked up for the Olaf, sorry, which... Another pattern I've actually been seeing recently is that top laners, especially, are buying 2 ruby crystals early because it builds, say if he's building a Black Cleaver this game, well, the rubies can give him a health buff right now, like a lot of health, and then its scale, then the items aren't going to waste. So one will go to a Phage, one will go to a Kingle Gem, boom, you've got your Black Cleaver. Yeah, like, I've been seeing it a lot. I've been playing, obviously, a bit of Shen, and... yeah, I've a popular Shen, a popular player in general, actually, at the moment, Wicked. He's been spamming Shen, and most games that I've been kind of tuning in a little bit here or there, yeah, buys double Ruby Crystal and rushes a Titanic Hydra pretty much every game. It's like, it's just a lot of strength, I guess, yeah, for the early, the double Ruby. So that's another thing that you can pick up from this. It is something that you can do. So lane control right now for the Olaf. He could, if he wanted to, by the way, freeze it. I have a funny feeling he's going to run down this Jax. He does have flash up. The E is happening. So yeah, by the way, this replay file does look a little bit weird. It's missing some of the animations. Like earlier, the Jax teleported in, but there was no teleport animation. That Jaxie, he was just spinning. There was no like the wind that happens around Jax's staff. So yeah, replays are apparently bugged at the moment. So that's good. Great. Item build-wise, weirdly for the Jax, builds an Avarice Blade first item. Now, in theory, people go, oh, that makes sense. Olaf heals, and in the auto-attack battle, you know, you're going to limit the Olaf's healing. I wouldn't limit Olaf's healing for the sake of your own personal strengths, because that Avarice purchase, to me, is only a positive if Jax can actually fight the Olaf in general. This Jax is way too far behind to even fight him, you know, let alone fight him enough to make the anti-healing effective. So to me, the Jax should just buy a Phage, survivability that way, and just try to scale. Because, you know, in late game, who scales more than a Jax and Olaf? A Jax will outscale an Olaf in the 1v1, but when you have to look at, like, what is Olaf all about? So, Olaf's lane is he's a lane bully. You've just seen he can just obliterate people, you know, in the early game. His damage is actually insane, and that play around set, if he dodged the W, he might have been able to even kill the set. So he's got great early game strength, good chasing down, great what I'd say snowball pressure, ulting. Again, Jax can't stop him. He will get away after flashing, and friendly team to Olaf gets the dragon. So he's got that going for him. But then in late game, yeah, he's not like the best 1v1 champion in the world, but what he is a great pressure champion. So let's look at the enemy team. Has a Misfortune and Senna, both relatively immobile AD carries. Well, you know, technically Senna's an AD carry, I guess. 2v1 coming through. He has to just run at the moment to avoid Jax's E stun. If he can avoid the stun, he might be able to fight them. He does avoid sets, but didn't avoid... Oh, I don't think Jax has used his yet. You can see the aggression is continuing. Stun coming down, that's not enough. Olaf's probably going to take this fight. He does have to be careful, though. Nearly gets that kill, avoids the W. Again, no animation for set W, which is weird. But yeah, so really good. He's doing good survival. Not going crazy all in because he just doesn't want to die. Surprising, actually, that he doesn't look for an axe there, like a little bit earlier. But the Jax does manage to go back. Kai'Sa dies with both summoners up, which is a bit weird. But as I was trying to finish my point, Olaf goes into pressure. So immobile Misfortune, immobile Senna. Most Olafs build a early Black Cleaver for 1v1 potential, and then they'll build into a Righteous Glory as their second item, and all they do in mid to late game is run at the enemy AD carry. Just like beeline it straight there. Olaf TPs to mid lane because the Fizz is now in top lane. Fizz trying to kill people by the looks of it. With the Rengar, wow, very close to dying, does survive for now, but he might be dead. There are pings over here. Jax is chasing down, Set's chasing down. Rengar going aggressive, does not get the kill. No, doesn't get the kill. Good shutdown for the enemy team. Fizz also still in trouble. Olaf now making his way to look for anything he can. Kind of even didn't mention there was a LeBlanc in this game. Mainly because I didn't realize there was a LeBlanc in this game. But yeah, that's what you'll probably see this Olaf transition into, is continue, by the way, for a long time trying to kill this Jax in a 1v1 because he can. Meanwhile, Nami Roam looks pretty good. Can he have a lovely bubble? Olaf ultimate comes through. Nami takes the kill, which is questionable. Even uses the ignite on Jax, so I don't know if that was needed. But yeah, good pressure, lovely axes. And yeah, this is Olaf in a nutshell, by the way. So I wanted just to see it myself, and for ages, we've spoken about them in the past, about kryptonite champions. You know, your weakness of, like, is there a champion out there that exists that even in theory that you win and you should beat that champion, you just never do. Jax is weirdly one of those for me. Always has been. I don't know why. Doesn't matter what I play, I always suck against Jax. Maybe I'm okay as it versus Poppy, but that's about it. But maybe Olaf is the answer. Like, the amount of pressure. Look at the positioning, by the way. He's trying to get the Jax on the back foot, so he's too far away from safety. Really good. Running past the Jax, trying to make it so he could, like, you know, get there. Doesn't continue. Does get a nice little axe there at the end there, which is lovely. And yeah, the pressure is good. He's got, well, now only a 1 level advantage, but farm-wise, 20 farm ahead at 10 minutes. That's very good. By the way, runes, I'd imagine Conqueror with Last Stand, probably. Oh, wait, Jax is going aggressive. Need to watch this. Does flash, does the Olaf near the end. This could be a dead Jax. And wham! Would he live with Triumph? Oh, he does live with Triumph. I'm guessing he's got it. So, yes, he goes Conqueror, Triumph, which literally we just saw Triumph save his life. Bloodline, which is about lifesteal, and then Last Stand, which is a very much an underestimated rune, especially in top lane, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Top lane is about fighting constantly, usually in the 1v1, and you're both low health, and it's whoever can get that little outplay. Well, when you're low health, you're dealing more damage, especially for an Olaf who scales while he's being, while he's low health. So it is worth getting Last Stand, I think, in a lot of matchups. He's then gone Inspiration second, gone for Footwear. Then, this is a good one, Approach Velocity. So this is actually an underestimated rune completely as well for a lot of top laners and a lot of champions in general. Whenever you're running towards an enemy that is movement impaired or an ally, you gain 15% movement speed. Now think of Olaf, when he's running at people and he's landing his axe constantly, he's gaining movement speed while he's like hitting his axe. Wonderful. Another champion that very much can use that, by the way, Gangplank. Very good on Gangplank too. Not even bad on Darius, but you don't really want to take inspiration on Darius. That's the problem. By the way, finished Black Cleaver. Just noticed, by the way, also the enemy team, that you do have that build that people were telling me about. I think it's the Korean Misfortune build that you go 4 Doran's Blades. Again, I get it, whenever, by the way, I call one of these builds weird, I get why people do it. There's always a reasoning behind it, and a lot of the reasoning is like, oh, that makes sense. The idea is to get Misfortune snowballing, and then, she's pretty much unstoppable when she starts snowballing. The problem is, the higher rating you go, and if someone just has a little bit of sense to them, they won't purposely fight the Misfortune that much. Or, imagine it in this game, for example, the Misfortune is losing lane. You're investing over 1,000 gold into Doran's items that don't build into anything. And, Doran's items, they're very good cost effective. Very good. That's why you can buy multiple of them and they do help you. But it's generally only worth it if you are winning. So, yeah, if you win with that build, you get ahead with that build, it's going to be fantastic. The snowball will be real. It's just a pretty big negative if it's not working. Again, I can't remember how much Doran's items sell for, but what, they're like 300 gold, whatever. 350 maybe, and then you'll sell them. Are they 400? Again, it's hard to remember off the top of your head when you're doing a commentary. They'll sell probably for about half what you bought them for, so you are going to lose a good, I'd say, 700 gold roughly. That's a lot of gold to lose out if it's not worth it. Like this game, the Misfortune just died. They haven't gained too much. There's a big fight happening in bot lane, by the way. Kai'Sa just surviving. Quite does survive. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. Commentator's curse does die in the end. LeBlanc flashes over. Rengar using his ultimate. Are you serious? She didn't walk away? What the hell? So yeah, wonderful. That's great to see. So the primarily reason, by the way, I wanted to show the Olaf game is just to show the strength of the early game. And by the way, I didn't watch or vet this replay at all before I did it. I just guessed. I was like, Olaf top. I've seen it for the past week or so. All of them go crazy aggressive in the early game. And yeah, you saw it, how aggressive he was. He killed Jax 2 times in a row. That's the point of this pick. You can see, by the way, the Jax's confidence level is starting to build a little bit. He's looking to take a couple more fights onto the Olaf. So, the Jax isn't just like a pushover. But I think the Jax was a little bit, and again, is what we kind of went back to in the first minute. He underestimated the Olaf. That's why I like picks like this, is because people underestimate them because you don't see much Olaf top. This is the perfect example of Olaf top lane is technically not meta, but it is also meta at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, it's not popular, but it fits within what the game's strength is right now. Olaf going for an ult, doesn't get E'd by Jax, flashes away. So there is a pattern, I will say. What the Olaf should be doing is doing that play and then trying to do it again a minute later. But he's doing it every 5 minutes and then just doesn't end up getting the kill. Rengar looking for a ganking top lane does come across a Set. Again, Set jungle, by the way. From what I've seen with Set jungle, and for those that are like, are you going to check it out? Not really. It's basically, it's a juggernaut in the jungle. So you're either going to do incredibly well with it, or you're going to basically do nothing. It's a very hit or miss type of pick. So it's not really something that I would enjoy. But if you enjoy it, go for it, I'd say. It's just, I don't really rate it. It does, by the way, seem that North America has fully embraced Set jungle. And we've spoken about regional differences in the past. It's actually I actually find it a really cool thing that you look within the different regions of League. How does it differ? If you look at, again, it's not, by the way, this is not a BM thing towards North America at all. North America historically, meanwhile Jack's going a bit too aggressive, I'd say, does get another kill, does the Olaf. North America historically thinks that Riven, and Rengar gets the kill, thinks that Riven is really strong. Riot have even said that for some reason North America think that she's really strong, and no other region thinks that she's that good. By the way, this is for solo queue. I remember there's a rioter called Blastoise, I think, that works with all statistics. He even came out, because he's a North American himself, and there was all these Reddit threads about Riven, and he was like, he came out with all Reddit threads of all statistical data that was kind of proving that Riven wasn't a problem. But again, it's just regional. Look at the Olaf, by the way, looking for that aggression, is just hammering the set, by the way. Flashes aggressively on the Misfortune. That never was going to work, and does decide to back out now. And again, like we mentioned earlier, there's the Righteous Glory second item. So the 2 immobile AD carries, he will just run at them eventually. Don't know if anything more is going to come off this situation, but yeah, really good. Again, I love the aggression from this Olaf. I would say in top lane, it was fantastic to watch early. But the weird thing is how the lane went. Let's say Olaf's ultimate is up every 2 minutes. Well, that means per every flash of the Jax, you should be able to do 2 aggressive ultimate plays as Olaf top. But he only did an aggressive play roughly every 5 minutes. So the Jax could just constantly flash away. And obviously, he's done fine. You know, he's ahead in farm by a buttload. The Jax is 1-6. He's denied a Jax, who is also still a really strong champion in his own right. It's just when you have this much pressure, you just can't deal with it. So I very much recommend Olaf right now, if you are one of those top laners. But notice, by the way, the play style of the Olaf. He's not still top lane. Yesterday, I will say, I said about him earlier, Wicked, ex-pro player, ex-Worlds pro player. He sent me a message yesterday on League asking me to rate from best to worst impact levels in solo queue. Of like, what is the most impactful role, what is the least impactful role. Meanwhile, good aggressive play by the Fizz and the Olaf there. They're going to walk away now. I rated jungle as the most impactful, top lane as the least impactful. And I think my order, I went top, mid, support, AD carry. Jungle, mid, support, AD carry, top. And it was actually, that was roughly what everybody voted that he asked. He asked basically high-level people on his friends list. And yeah, top lane right now is rough, because a lot of top laners, I will say, are on that island mentality only. If you are a top laner and you are finding, I can win my lane, I can go 6-1 like this Olaf, but I just lose the game, well, get involved. You can see this Olaf, he's not running back to top lane right now to go kill the enemy tier 2. He's running down mid. He's going with his team. That's what you need in top laners right now. That's why Shen is gaining popularity again, because it's that, oh, I can be on an island in top lane, but I can go help my team. I can go ult for my team. So Olaf grouping with Righteous Glory. Shen can ultimate in. Hell, even Malphite is gaining popularity again, because it's the same philosophy. I can split, I can hold my own in the 1v1, I could not die to a, aggressive bruiser, but I can just group and just ult and just wreck face. It does, by the way, seem that the Jax did just kind of rage quit after being 1-8. Again, the game's about to end, so I guess it's not the worst deal in the world. But yeah, overall, was really good to watch this Olaf. He was set going for a bit of an ambitious ultimate there. But yeah, it was lovely to watch. And yes, it's a pre-20-minute win, but this is going to be reminiscent, really, of most Olaf games that go well. And obviously, the game in itself wasn't just the Olaf. The Kai'Sa obviously did well, the Rengar did well. But specifically in top lane, that's what you want from an Olaf. Aggressive early, take more farm, deny farm, and then eventually group. Don't be just split pushing at 25 minutes into the game. That's not going to help you win. That's not going to help you kill the Nexus. And if you do have that playstyle, make sure you're playing something that excels at that playstyle, by the way. Like, I wouldn't recommend Nasus right now for a couple reasons, but if you do love the split push playstyle, it hurts me to say it, but Tryndamere probably is your best bet. Or Fiora. Like, those two are just incredibly strong at, like, if you're good at lane phase, solid lane phase, and then you and I do mean it, constantly are split pushing, you kill your lane opponent at half an hour in, and then you're still split pushing with the regen that both of those champions have, that's really effective. Don't do that playstyle on a Darius, or a Olaf, or a set top. You need to get involved. That's what I'd say with top lane right now. Get involved. But that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This was Olaf top. I would say in the next few days, you're probably going to see me try this. I'm interested in it. And I think one of my personal weaknesses, and we all have them, you need to admit that you can think yourself as a great player. You're going to have weaknesses. Everyone does, even pros. One of my weaknesses, 100%, is early lane phase. That either, my lane phase either goes really good, and you've even seen it recently in some episodes. Oh, Huzzy got fed this game, even in lane phase. Oh, he's killing his lane opponent. Cool. Or, Huzzy ain't doing great. And, you know, normally I don't die a lot, but my farm is dreadful because I'm getting zoned out. Olaf might be the ticket because how the hell do you zone out on Olaf in the early game? He kills everything. So that might be the ticket to it, everybody. If you guys did enjoy, though, throw a like on the video. If you've got any picks that you want me to kind of go after, like have a look at, kind of like this, you know, they're not mainstream. They're just like a little bit under mainstream, but they're as strong as mainstream picks. Let me know in the comments. I will have a look through and, you know, look at to do some. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, throw a like on it, throw a subscribe, throw a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya. Oh, and also, as a thank you to you guys, I put it on social media and stuff. We recently just hit 159,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we're very close to hitting 60 million views total ever on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Again, we've been through some ups and downs. This job, I love it. Still to this day, yes, League is a frustrating game, but thank you. Like, I genuinely mean that. And I still am surprised that I get to do what I do. And I know I'm not perfect by any means. Trust me. Of all people that knows that, I'm definitely the first. But thank you very much for continuing to support what I do. And it's lovely, you know. And if you are going through any rough times at the moment at all, again, I would say feel free to reach out. I can't answer everything. I tried my best. But yeah, things do get better. I am, in a weird way, living evidence that things get better. I used to be the guy 5 years ago that nothing was going for me, and now quite a lot's going for me. I've got let's just say, a very exciting meeting tomorrow that I can't talk about yet, but things are going pretty good. So, and it will involve you guys, hopefully, eventually. So, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.